Saturday mornings with the most trusted team in local sports. Review all of the weekend action and recap all of the big plays with Gianna Cephalou and Gabriel Stovall. 6 Sports Saturday, Saturday mornings at 9:30 on News Channel 6. Live 5 for 6 is weather coverage you can count on. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Hickson Roofing.
We started off the week with a cool, cloudy, and rainy Monday, but lucky for us, there's changes on the way. I'll have all the details for you coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, remembering Carter Gay 1 year after his death and the ministry he started in Jefferson County. Plus, the city of Aiken is developing an action plan to make streets safer, how you can participate, and providing resources for Richmond County parents to find jobs, financial services, and overall support from the school district. We'll tell you how as your News at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins in Jefferson County, where it's been a little more than a year since a local high school student died suddenly, leaving his classmates and fellow students stunned. Graham Lee tells us how the community is honoring his legacy.
Thomas Jefferson Academy was in shock this time last year following the death of 17-year-old Carter Gay. He started a men's ministry just before he died, and members say they continue to meet in his honor. The coroner's office says Gay died after an accident while doing target practice at a shooting range on his family farm. While he loved to hunt and play football, his love for ministry was even stronger. He only got to attend 2 meetings before his accident, but the gatherings continue to bring many around the community together. His dad, Jeremy, says it's the same faith his son was so outspoken about that's gotten him and the rest of the family through a very difficult year.
I've asked a lot of questions about why, and one of the first things that hit me was God told me, said, how can you ask me why I could let this happen to your son when I freely gave you mine, so that you can spend eternity with yours and with me. And what better answer could there be than that? And it doesn't make it a lot easier, but, I know I'm going to see him again.
While it's now been over a year since Carter's death, those in the ministry here at Your Hope Church say his life will not soon be forgotten. In Matthews, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
An escaped inmate from Emmanuel County is back in police custody. Thomas Wright was arrested today after a pursuit with a Richmond County Sheriff's deputy. According to the Emmanuel County Sheriff, Wright stole a vehicle from Candler County after escaping yesterday from the Twin City Detention Center. He was in jail on charges of entering a vehicle. Time now for our first look at the weather, and for that we turn to meteorologist Sherry Sheely.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
And good afternoon to everyone at home. So, yes, it's been a Monday of Mondays, right, with the time changing and the cloud cover. And how about these temperatures? 46 degrees right now in Augusta, 45 in Aiken, a little bit cooler at 43 in Edgefield. Looks like our warmer spot, Bamberg, coming in at 49 degrees. So, yeah, well below average. And that's in part by this low pressure system that is sitting right on top of us and bringing up some moisture from the Gulf. Getting a little break from the rain in some areas, but the cloud cover is definitely prevalent throughout the CSRA. We can see that on our Terry Liverett Hyundai Skyview Cam in Swainsboro, where they're getting a little break from the rain, but check out those skies and also look at the stars and stripes. They're really whipping in the wind as we've got pretty good winds coming out of the north, 18 miles per hour for our sustained winds here in Augusta, 6 in Swainsboro. And then when you look at the gust, even higher, so about 26 mile per hour wind gusts. So pretty breezy out there. And when you combine that with the cooler temperatures, yeah, it's not very pleasant outside. But the good news is the wind gusts are going to die down as we go through the next several hours, and overnight we'll start to see things calm down, not only with our winds, but also with our cloud cover. So over the next few hours, yes, the rain is lingering and so are the clouds, but about the time right around midnight, that's when we'll see those clouds start to clear out, and we're left with cooler temperatures overnight, but clear skies during the day mean we make way for sunshine on Tuesday. So I'll have all the details on what you can expect in your full forecast coming up in just a bit. Jenny?
All right, thank you, Sherry. Aiken is working towards safer roads and fewer traffic deaths with the Safe Streets for All program. The federal grant will add better crosswalks, signals, lighting, and features to slow down speeding drivers. Pilot projects will start in North, South, and downtown Aiken.
Well, this has been something that we talked about for quite a while. The money certainly is a good start, but it's not going to completely solve the issue. But we wanted to get the most substantial benefit from these initial projects.
You can learn more about Aiken's safety plan at 2 public meetings this week. Wednesday at the Leslie B. Price Center and Thursday at Odell Weeks Center. Both meeting times are 1 to 2:30 p.m. Augusta leaders are looking at drawing. The Richmond County school system is helping to make resources available to students and their families. Bria Smith is here now with more.
School system staff believes that the key to a student's success begins with a healthy home and proper resources. Monday morning's event was centered around making local resources easily accessible to parents of students within the school system.
So take this flyer and it's that to
Organizations that help with utilities, service bills, shelter, food, healthcare, and more.
the Success Center, which is a part of the school system. We work with our families who are in transition. Some people may say they're homeless, but they're in transition, or just families who found themselves in need of food, clothing, school supplies, personal hygiene, or just someone to help them with their rent, utilities. And then sometimes people just need some place to stay. So we have partnered with a lot of these community partners in here, such as Salvation Army. We always call to check their availability for their family rooms, to see that they have rooms for families who find themselves being evicted or just don't have any place to stay.
If you were unable to attend this year's resource fair, you can still find resources through the Success Center. More resource opportunities will also be held later this week. For more on that, visit WJBF.com.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, can perform tasks often associated with human cognitive functions. It's all around us, and we pick and choose whether to use it or not. Augusta University's Dr. Lance Hunter completed an analysis on AI. He explains that the level or sophistication of AI is dependent on the nature of the data. Our military is at an advantage as the United States currently leads the way with infrastructure to develop sophisticated AI regarding security. Dr. Hunter believes it's also an advantage in our daily lives.
There can be a lot of really beneficial effects of artificial intelligence. If we're thinking about AI being able to perform certain types of tasks, to assist individuals to being more productive, in a lot of different ways in their work life, in their individual life, etc. It can really help in a lot of areas within economies, healthcare.
Although Dr. Hunter says AI is helpful, he believes we should still be aware of the impact it has on our jobs. Celebrating the people who make a difference in our community through their selfless service. WJBF just honored all 12 Giving Your Best winners from 2024. The award recognizes those everyday heroes who go above and beyond to serve others. We'll show you how exciting it has been to watch this initiative connect people and inspire positive change. Shelby's help doesn't stop with food. She goes out of her way to make sure any need, maybe a car seat or diapers or formula, will be delivered as well.
Everybody right now, we just need to come together. We just need to love one another, come together. And I think just if you have the need or want to help in the community, reach out and do it. That's what I did, and it's become a family on this group.
Meet our 2024 winners, learn who our sponsors are and why they participate, and find out how you can nominate a worthy volunteer tomorrow at 12:30 on Jenny. A back-to-back-to-back NASCAR winner. Coming up, we're heading to the track for a final recap of the series.
And after the cool temperatures today, I think we're going to be racing towards some warmer temperatures. That's right, sunshine returns tomorrow and a warm-up midweek. I'll have all the details for you coming up.
3 Cup Series wins in 4 races to start the year for NASCAR driver Christopher Bell. His prize for the win? A hefty paycheck and a chat with News Nation's Gabe McDonald.
What's the last pit stall standing? Because it's the pit stall of the driver who was the last man standing here in Phoenix. Christopher Bell pulling off an incredible win here in Phoenix as he's now won for the third consecutive week, becoming the first driver in the next gen era to win 3 Cup Series races in a row.
I've always believed in myself. I try and let my results do the talking, and frankly, over the last couple of years, I haven't won enough. And now we're showing this team is showing what this team is made of, and I know that we can keep on rolling.
While it's a historic win for Bell and the number 20 team, this race saw a little bit of everything in the desert. The big storyline coming in was the red option tires coming into play. Brian Priest of RFK would be the first to make the most of the reds, climbing 30 spots after a restart to finish third in the opening stage, which would be won by William Byron, who entered the race on the pole.
The most teams won at any racetrack.
Now at all tracks, it's not a matter of if we get the big one, but when we get it. It would come on lap 99 as an 11-car pileup on the backstretch would take out the likes of Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, and Carson Hocevar in the early goings of stage 2.
I don't think that was an if, I think that was a when.
And for the second straight week, we saw another historic debut as Catherine Legg became the first woman to make a Cup start in the next gen era. However, her day would come to an end at the beginning of stage 3 after having early trouble in the first few laps of the race.
Daniel Suarez is involved in Catherine Legg's second spin of the day.
And while teams are going back and forth between option tires and primary tires in stage 3, a late caution with just over 40 laps left in the race will put a damper on a strong day for the 24. William Byron was on pit road while Bubba Wallace caused the yellow, sending Byron to the rear. However, he was able to battle back for a top 10 finish in Phoenix.
Today we're third place car. But yeah, we got a little bit of work to do to get faster and just put it all together. We just worked really hard as a team collectively, and yeah, caution was definitely a bummer, but felt like we were able to rebound, and I was really happy with that.
So that puts a bow on the NASCAR's weekend here in Phoenix. We'll be back in November to crown the champions. Next week, the West Coast swing continues in Sin City as we head to Las Vegas. It's a place where Christopher Bell has been on the pole 3 times and has come oh so close to victory twice with 2 second-place finishes. We'll see if he can make it 4 in a row next week out in Vegas. Reporting at Phoenix Raceway, I'm Gabe McDonald.
And we are taking a live look now at that Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where NASCAR's heading to another desert. It's the final stop on NASCAR's West Coast Tour until May. Coverage from the Las Vegas roadway begins Saturday, March 15th, with the NASCAR Countdown live on the CW at 4 p.m. We'll be right back.
Weather headlines on WJBF News Channel 6. Brought to you by Hickson Roofing. If your roof needs fixing, call Mr. Hickson. WJBF. WJBF Live Viper 6.
All right, so let's start off by looking at Live Viper 6. It's been very active today, but if you notice, we kind of have this swirling pattern right now, so we're getting a little bit of a break from the rain, but definitely not done with it quite yet. And that motion and what's lingering, it's because we have a low pressure system that's gradually moving to the east, but notice that counterclockwise rotation, it's whipping that moisture around. So yes, we've got a break right now for most of us, but we're not quite done as we have one more rotation to make its way through our area before we start clearing up. And we can see that on our Terry Limbert Hyundai Skyview cam here in Augusta. So yes, it might not be raining currently, but you can see we've got some water there on the lens, and certainly those gloomy skies that we've become all too familiar with over the last day or so. But 47 degrees right now, our current temperature. So on the cool side, and those winds coming from the north at 18 miles per hour with our sustained winds, and gusts even higher than that. And if that's not enough, also we've got that fine mist and fog that's limiting visibility. So not the greatest conditions to be out on the road right now, so please add a little extra time to your commute and take it easy. So speaking of those rainfall totals, last 24 hours, we've all picked up some beneficial rain, but definitely some variation in our amount. So a little over a quarter of an inch to our north in McCormick and Lincolnton, right at the half-inch mark in Augusta. But check it out, Wrightsville over, well, almost an inch and a half of rain, so some much beneficial rain there. And Allendale just shy of the inch mark there for us. So how much longer are we going to deal with this? Well, let's look at our future cast. So there's that low pressure system, and it's going to continue pushing eastward, and again whipping around one last time, giving us some more mainly light rain. There might be some isolated pockets of some moderate or heavy rain, but overall mainly just light. But notice as it continues moving eastward tonight, late in the evening, we'll start to see those clouds even push out and clearing out overnight. And check it out, on Tuesday we've got the all clear, and that's where we're going to stay for the next couple of days and through the middle of the week. So yes, we just got to get through this soggy Monday, and then we're looking much better. So again, the timing on this, the next couple of hours we're going to see some lingering showers, but in the late evening things are going to taper off, and for Tuesday we are all in the clear, so back to sunshine. But because we have those clear skies overnight, that does mean our temperatures are going to drop. So a chilly night ahead with temperatures in the 30s. But then tomorrow, check out this temperature trend. We're going to be back in the 70s for Tuesday, and then getting close to 80 and even at the 80 mark on the weekend. So above average. So we get a little bit of consistency in our forecast with our temperatures over the next couple of days. So looking at the 10-day, looking good. Sunshine returning to the forecast tomorrow, and temps in the 70s. And then for St. Patrick's Day and over the weekend, that's when we're going to need the umbrella again, but at least we get a nice little stretch of some sunshine here coming up. So we did lose an hour yesterday, even though we're gaining some beneficial rain here, and I know there's some mixed reviews on the time change, so whether you like it or not, here's Miller Hyatt with some details on the science behind daylight savings time.
Hello everyone, meteorologist Miller Hyatt here. As you know, we just observed the start of daylight saving time, and I hope you remembered to turn your clocks ahead an hour, but thankfully we do have those smartphones for us to automatically do so. It's also a good time to check your smoke and carbon monoxide detector batteries as well. Now, why do we change our clocks? Well, it's not just to mess with our sleep cycles. The reason is behind the seasons. The Earth is tilted on its axis at 23.5 degrees, and that tilt is what gives us our seasons. So let's look at the seasons here. We have 4 seasons, of course: spring, summer, fall, and winter. During the winter, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, so days are shorter, meaning later sunrises and earlier sunsets. But now, as we're heading into spring, that tilt brings us back towards the sun, naturally lengthening our days. And daylight saving time just amplifies that by pushing our clocks forward an hour. We've shifted some morning light to the evening. So here are some pros of changing our clocks. It's to maximize daylight hours. That's the primary reason. We can spend more time outdoors, and also to conserve energy. We don't have to use our artificial lighting as much. Economic benefits are also why we change our clocks, and seasonal alignment with Earth's tilt, like we just talked about, agricultural adjustments, safety considerations, standardization and coordination, and psychological and lifestyle boost. So there are unfortunately negative impacts. One of the main impacts is to our circadian rhythm, which is a 24-hour cycle. So this disrupts our sleep patterns. And when we get less sleep, what does that mean? Well, an increased risk of car accidents in the mornings after observing the start of daylight saving time. There's also increased health risks such as stroke and heart attack, and an inconvenience of changing clocks twice a year. So that's why we change our clocks, and I have a more detailed look at the changing of our clocks on my blog, Beyond the Forecast, on WJBF.com.
I got to know Austin when he was a student. I just remember that he was just an upstanding young man, very respectful. When I had my car accident, I thought to myself, I'm going to call Austin Jackson.
As we sit here today, I'm thrilled to hear that you're feeling much better. That's how I want to see people in the end. They're back to the way they were before the wreck happened. I'm so glad you called us, and it's a privilege to be able to pay back the people who've helped shape me.
Create your perfect room.
CSRA is full of amazing women. Women who inspire. Women who innovate. Women who lead. That's why News Channel 6 brings you Women to Watch.
On the last Wednesday of each month, News Channel 6 recognizes local businesswomen who are making a positive impact in our community.
Nominate someone today at WJBF.com. Sponsored by Goodwill.
Hello? You gotta get your story straight. What an idiot. You know that. Don't give them rocks behind. That's and I'm just getting started.
Judy Justice. Weekdays at 3 on News Channel 6.
Well, check this out. Hodakova's women's fall-winter line consists of outfits like a cello with no strings. Another model strutted the catwalk with all the strings attached. And then there's the violin hat. Take a look at that. As for casual wear, if you can't decide between wearing pants or a skirt, Hodakova says wear both at the same time. Just put the pants around your face or drape them over your shoulder and you are good to go. Okay, there you go. That's it for us this half hour, but there's more coverage you can count on coming up on News Channel 6 at 4:30, including Greenland's rare Earth Reserve data as President Trump renews his focus on the territory.
Opticians is
TV's #1 entertainment talk show has 15 Emmys. It's actually 16. Respectfully. Come on live to make your morning shine.
weekday mornings at 9 on News Channel 6. The live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
So this Monday has been quite the gloomy one with cloud cover, periods of rain, and even really cool temperatures. But the good news is, man, the difference 24 hours is going to make. So we're going to see those clouds clear out this evening. And then as we go into the overnight hours, yes, it's going to be a little on the cool side. But check out our temps for your Tuesday. It's looking terrific, nice, and into the 70s. Can you believe it? I'll have all the details on what you can expect in your forecast coming up in just a bit.
Now at 4:30, the Trump administration's tariffs, plus a new South Carolina bill to crack down on underage vaping and increase regulations for products sold in the state. And improving school safety across Georgia. The 3 legislative bills backed by the state Senate. Your news at 4:30 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with President Trump. Well, time now for us to take a first look at our weather with meteorologist Sherry Sheely. This was a Monday to remember because it was cold and rainy and wow.
And not to mention the time change.
And the time change. Add that in. There was a trio of reasons.
Yes. But the good news is, tomorrow's another day.
There you go.
And the sunshine's coming out tomorrow. We can make it. But right now, no sunshine to speak of. Just some gloomy skies as we can see on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam in Swadesboro. And look at that flag whipping in the wind as we've got some pretty elevated winds right now, too. So we've got the winds, we've got the rain, and we've also got some issues with visibility, including Swainsboro down to 4 miles, Sylvania down to 2, and Barnwell down to 2. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are fixing to hit the roads right now to head home. So the roads are wet, and we've got that mist and that fog that can make driving pretty difficult. So add a little extra time to your commute. And that's because we've got that low pressure system right overhead, just swirling up that moisture and kind of whipping in those on and off showers. The good news is most of them are really light right now, and other areas getting a break in the showers even. But we've got a little bit longer to go. Temperature wise, there's those cool temps in the 40s for us right now, and winds again coming in from the north at about 18 miles per hour for sustained winds, and gusts excess of 25 miles per hour. So yeah, really getting it there. The good news is though, again, the showers are going to taper off, the clouds are going to move out, and the winds are also going to die down as we go through the next several hours. So with that, we've got improvements. Gotta wait till about midnight until all of us see them, but gradually clearing out. And then, like I said, Tuesday is a whole nother day. I'll go over all the details and your full forecast coming up in just a bit. Dee?
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you then. The Carolina forest community is imposing stricter burning laws in South Carolina. This after the State Forestry Commission said a resident caused the wildfire. Skylar Music tells us how residents feel about toughening the law.
We spoke to one resident off camera who says starting a fire should constitute jail time. Another resident says the state should toughen its burn laws, but not without educating the public first.
I think that probably 99% of people that live here have no idea what the laws were. So as long as they have some sort of public awareness campaign to bring attention to the new laws, it would be fine to toughen the laws, and probably a good thing too.
The State Forestry Commission said 55% of wildfires are caused by someone burning debris. State Representative Tim McGinnis says he'll propose a bill that will encourage residents to be cautious about burning, especially when it's dry and windy.
It should be like getting into your car after you've had a few drinks. You think twice about it. Think twice before you burn.
McGinnis said right now, the penalty for burning debris in South Carolina is a $200 fine for the first offense and $500 for the second offense. South Carolina lawmakers haven't updated these penalties since 1962. In fact, in October 2009, state officials said a Conway man caused a wildfire that destroyed 76 homes and damaged almost 100 others, and that man paid a $732 fine. The state forester said Saturday at a briefing with the lieutenant governor that the law needs to be reconsidered.
Most of those originated in the 60s, and so if you look at the time value of money, what was a $200 fine in the 60s was a lot of money. Today, that's not a lot of money. So it does deserve looking at, and I appreciate Representative McGinnis looking at that, and I've already been talking with the governor's office about that as well.
Horry County Fire Rescue says the county's burn ban is still in effect. The lieutenant governor said at the briefing, when it's safe to burn again, contact your local fire department for help.
Call your fire department before you start burning to make sure that there's not something going on that you don't know about. You want to keep them in alert, and they will give you safety tips. That's what they're here for. They want you to make their lives easier.
According to the South Carolina Forestry Commission, the wildfire in Myrtle Beach is 55% contained. A bill is headed to the Senate floor in South Carolina that, if passed, would force businesses that sell vaping products to have guidelines and regulations about what can be sold. It would also require the Attorney General's office to ensure that electronic nicotine delivery system products sold in South Carolina are approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The Attorney General would also need to be notified if there are ingredient changes in the devices.
At the very minimum, I think just having a standardized process by which we say, we're going to allow for these, but we're not going to allow for those. That signals to our retailers what is okay and what's not.
My only suggestion would be, let's leave the FDA registry requirement there and find a way to provide a provisional way for folks operating in our state's borders who are pending that approval not to be shut down.
Lawmakers say the main goal of this bill is to protect children from using nicotine products. Currently in South Carolina, it is illegal for a person under the age of 18 to vape. Well, 3 bills and $50 million have been set aside to keep both students and teachers safe in the state of Georgia. Ricky and Alyssa's law will require all Georgia schools to have mobile panic alarms to alert first responders. Senate Bill 61 will strengthen the state's law so attempted murders and terror acts towards schools by juveniles will be tried as adults. And Senate Bill 179 will require transferring students to show their academic and disciplinary records to the new school within 10 days. It also informs parents or guardians about the transfer within 5 days.
In this situation with Appalachian, certainly parental involvement doesn't seem like that was as appropriate as it could have been. School safety, certainly the security officers that we had put there limited the fatalities and morbidity and mortality related to that shooting.
State House lawmakers will review the bills in committee and may add changes to the legislation, but will have to do so before the session ends on April 4th. We'll be right back.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6. CSRA.
A new TV show is being filmed here in the heart of Augusta. It's called Asherah, A Love Odyssey, and it is being filmed at the Sacred Heart Cultural Center from now through Wednesday. Now, throughout the series, you will grow up with Asherah from age 12 to 28, going through the journey of life. Most of the crew is from Augusta, showcasing the wonderful local talent we have right here in the CSRA. Well, Golden Warriors star and North Carolina native Stephon Curry has reportedly accepted a role with his alma mater. The four-time NBA champion and two-time league MVP will be the assistant general manager for the basketball programs at Davidson College. The move makes the star athlete the first active player in U.S. major pro sports to take an administrative job with NCAA teams. Well, on this date, a popular teen TV series was introduced on our small screens. Plus, we celebrate actress Sharon Stone. Marky Martin has more in today's Moment in Time.
Today is March 10th, and with the daylight saving time change, I know many of you will be taking advantage of this National Napping Day. In 1913, William Knox became the first bowler to make a perfect score of 300 in an American Bowling Congress tournament. She's well known for her role in the movie Basic Instinct. Actress Sharon Stone was born. A very happy 67th birthday. And in honor of Women's History Month, we recognize Jill Trenery, who won the Ladies Figure Skating Championship in Halifax back in 1990. It was the ultimate teen supernatural TV series starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. In 1997, Buffy the Vampire Slayer premiered, lasting 7 seasons long. And after a 7-month cruise to Mars, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter entered the planet and began searching for signs of water life on the surface. And the NASA spacecraft is the third longest lived to orbit Mars, and as of this month, it's continued to operate.
March 10th through 15th, Smith Limited. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
All right, so let's start off by looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam here in Augusta. So a familiar sight throughout the day today, just kind of the overcast skies, gloomy conditions, and those on and off showers throughout the day. And can't forget those cool temps as well. How about 47 degrees, so well below average for us on this Monday. Winds coming from the north at 18 miles per hour, so pretty breezy out there. And also we've got that fine mist and fog that's limiting visibility in many spots across the area. So that combination not making for very great conditions for making it home from work. So keep that in mind and leave plenty of space between you and the vehicle in front of you and add a little extra time there. So speaking of the rain with the on and off showers, here's a loop of our Live Viper 6 over the last 6 hours. You can see those showers just kind of whipping around in a circular motion, giving us a little bit of a break throughout the day in some spots and some very light showers. Some a little heavier in nature at times, but definitely that on and off showers, but the cloud cover staying throughout the day. And that's because we have low pressure that's been pretty much directly overhead throughout the day. Now starting to move a little eastward, and as it does, we're going to get kind of one final rotation of that counterclockwise motion to give us one more round of showers before they start tapering off this evening and those clouds finally clear out later on this afternoon. So timing out that trouble. Still have some widespread showers to contend with on and off for the next couple of hours, but notice once we get later in the evening, start tapering off, and then by midnight, we will all be in the clear. Any even the skies start clearing out for us. So just a little bit longer to deal with this dreary day, and then we're going to put a bow on it and get ready for the sunshine. So here we go with the future cast over the next couple hours. There you go. Just that last line of some light showers there. Here we are at 9 o'clock. Start to see some clearing. We're going to see that from west to east throughout the evening and overnight hours. But then whenever we do lose that cloud cover, remember that acts like a blanket. So when you have that blanket removed, that does mean our temperatures are going to drop even more overnight for us. So a chilly night ahead, but then check it out for Tuesday. Nice and clear, making way for sunshine. So I want to bring those sunglasses back out, and you can have them handy for the next couple of days. Yes, glad to hear that. So again, tonight, a chilly one with temps in the upper 30s there for us. But then tomorrow, drum roll, here we go. We've got 70s and sunshine. That's what I like to see. Then that continues with our temperature trend above average for the rest of the week, even seeing 80s and above average temperatures continuing throughout the next couple of weeks. So 10-day forecast, there's that sunshine and 70s in there. But then don't get the umbrella away too far, because we're going to need it again next weekend. That's your forecast, and we'll be right back.
Augusta University Health System is now Wellstar, affiliated with Medical College of Georgia, which means you get more. More personalized care for your whole health, more compassionate expertise, more seamless access to care at your convenience, more support at every step, more time to live your best life. Visit wellstar.org/Augusta to learn what more can mean for you. Wellstar, more than healthcare, people care.
And take a look at this. Doctors warn against a box to belly TikTok trend. Oh my goodness, that is interesting. And it has a lot to do with those packing peanuts. Some TikTok users are munching on the biodegradable squishy box fillers, convinced they're an eco-friendly treat. No, y'all, don't do it. Some even adding condiments like hot sauce or olive oil to actually give them flavor. Now, health experts are weighing in, saying while they do dissolve in water, packing peanuts should not be dissolved in your stomach. Ugh. Doctors warn the heat-processed starch could contain a carcinogen, which is not good, y'all. All right, I just want to introduce real quick a new friend of mine, Kalia, right? And she is in the 5th grade at Diamond Lakes Elementary School. And I just want to say that I'm proud of her. She is a math genius, and she came by to visit me. Her mommy put a post on Facebook, and I just wanted to speak some positivity into this beautiful young lady's life. And I'm thanking you for coming by to see me. You made my day, and I really appreciate you, Kalia. And you're a math genius, right? Yes, you are. That's good. What's your principal's name? Let's give her a shout out. Miss Jeffords, that's your principal. Miss Jeffords at Diamond Lakes, hello. We want to say hi. Who's your teacher, your homeroom teacher?
Miss Walker.
Miss Walker, 5th grade at Diamond Lakes. Hello, Miss Walker, 5th grade at Diamond Lakes. And we thank her mom for bringing her by, and thank you for coming to see me. You made my day. Well, coming up on News Channel 6 and 5, how Richmond County School System is connecting parents to available resources, plus more top stories. And thanks to our producer, Tara Hatney, for allowing us to have this time on air.
Weather headlines on WJBF News Channel 6. Brought to you by Hickson Roofing. If your roof needs fixing, call Mr. Hickson. Injured and thinking